Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. The clips that you have seen in the beginning of this video I have taken yesterday to show you just a little bit of the lights and decorations in Moscow, some of which were created for Valentine's Day, that was yesterday. I will be showing you definitely much more of Moscow, as I promised you, during my stay here for the next several weeks. But I would like to say to all of you who are new subscribers that I have posted about 200 videos. I haven't counted already how many, but since I've been here many times already in the last year and a half, make sure if you're interested in seeing museums, many historical places in Moscow and in St. Petersburg, to scroll down my videos. The first video was posted in December 2022, so there is a lot of content with including actually the museums from inside with paintings, art pieces, sculptures. I put a lot of energy in that, so I'm sure you will appreciate that content a lot, so check it out. And those of you who haven't subscribed yet but are still watching, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It's free of charge and it will help me to get to 100,000 subscribers. That is my dream to accomplish here while still being in Moscow for the next few weeks. And thank you for watching and for all your likes, love, support, kindness. Let's jump to the news. But before I do that, what I decided to create when the days are like today, which is beautiful but very, very snowy day, I will be creating the content with the news from inside and then adding you clips from being in Moscow, exploring Moscow, so you can have this mix of news and views. And as far as interviews, there is a live stream scheduled for tomorrow, for Friday, with Scott Ritter. Hopefully everything goes well and we can connect with Scott. This will be 11 a.m. New York City time, and when I create the link, go on my community page. It will be there, it will be posted. You can join us tomorrow, me and Scott Ritter, live stream, and we will ask question about the current events. And so let's go into the news, guys. Two articles I found for you today. Both are related to Ukrainians and to Ukraine, and actually to the history of Ukraine and Poland in this case. And then we will end this video, well, we will end the news part of this video with comments of the day. And later you will see more clips from Moscow. The first article that I have for you here is Ukrainians will go to legal work or to war. There will be no third way out. So what is this about? It looks like employers will have to significantly increase wages to stop paying in hand wages. Otherwise, their employees will be mobilized. This is the report from Ukraine. The Ukrainian president, you know who, of course, right? Volodymyr, spoke about the need to mobilize up to 500,000 new soldiers at the end of December. Recently, the government submitted a relevant bill. It was adopted in the first reading, but it still requires many amendments. Time is running out. The Russians are trying to break through the Ukrainian defenses in several places, and the military needs new forces on the front lines of the war that has been going on for almost 2 years. Yes, we will have anniversary in less than 10 days, actually. Ukrainian politicians today have to come up with a way to mobilize hundreds of thousands of new soldiers without violating their constitutional rights in order to be able to demobilize at least those who have been fighting for the longest time. There are some people who are fighting from the very beginning of this conflict. Can you imagine this? Without any break. Let's continue. Fewer men of military age. So here I have translation. So 1 second. Let me see. It's right here. Okay. However, it turned out that the mobilization potential was much more modest than the statistics indicated. At the beginning of this year, it was estimated that Ukraine had over 11 million men of military age, that is between 25 to 60, registered with the local tax office. The data was verified by a group of deputies headed by the head of the Economic Committee, Dmytro Natalusha, I mispronounced, apologies, and it turned out that this number was significantly overestimated. Ukrainian Truth, which is UP, Ukrainian Truth citing data from the Natauchy group states that only half of those included in the statistics are suitable for mobilization. And so, some politicians and experts fear that it will be them. Yay! About time. Some politicians and experts fear that it will be them who will be recruited. Karma. By the staff of reinforcement commands if the new act on mobilization is adopted. Can you believe this? Some politicians and experts fear that it will be them who will be recruited by the staff of reinforcement commands if the new act of mobilization is adopted. You know, we have this saying in Polish, I've mentioned this once on my channel. I'm sure my Russian viewers might understand this. We say, Pan Bóg nierychliwy, ale sprawiedliwy, which means God is not fast, but is just. Here we go. Let's continue with this article. And this would pose serious problems for the economy already weakened by the war. Half of the Ukrainian budget depends on foreign financial aid. Half of the Ukrainian budget depends on foreign financial aid. The easiest way would be to come to the factory, convey the plan, and hand out summonses. I'm sorry, guys, you know my English. So yeah, go to the factory and just give the papers to everyone who's working there to be mobilized. That means the factory stops, the production is no longer going on, the economy is already destroyed, so what else is left there to destroy, really, right? So this plan. But now, after 2 years of war, the situation in many enterprises is critical, warned the deputy head of the president's office, Rostislav Shurma, quoted by UP. Both business and society should receive a fair and understandable mechanism that will guarantee work. Everyone should understand that these are the times now. You either work for the budget and thus support the army, or you serve in the army. There is no third option, he added. So that's it. Just the war, just the army, nothing else. No other options. That's your life. So Poland, do you want to have this? You know why I'm saying this. Sometimes people watch my channel and they still think like I'm believing in this crap that they are putting in the media, okay? Such a drastic increase in salaries will probably surprise many Ukrainian companies, especially since the minimum wage after increases in April will be only 8,000 hryvnias, which is equivalent to 880 zloty. So let me calculate this. This is about $240 monthly. They are destroying those people completely. But this does not mean the Ukrainians earn so little. Okay, so what does this mean? Ukrainian refugees have found their place on the Polish labor market. Our tax office estimates that about 4 million people receive their salaries in an envelope. Officially, these people either do not work or their contract stipulates a ridiculous salary of, for example, 0.25% minimum wage. And it has been like this for years. Ukrainian law allows it. So they make money in Ukraine and then they make money in Poland, right? Half of the economy is in the gray zone. Oleksandr Ohrimenko, a well-known Kiev economist, well, that's yesterday someone left a very cool comment about Ukrainian economies. I'm going to read it in a second. So half of the economy is in the gray zone. Oleksandr Ohrimenko, a well-known Kiev economist, tells Rzeczpospolita, Polish portal, Soros Money. He believes that if some of those plants can be forced to legalize the income of their employees and raise wages at least to the national average, the country's budget will receive enormous money. I wonder where this money will go. My comment. At the beginning of the aggression, taxes were completely abolished because it was assumed that the war will end quickly. Now everyone knows that it can last for years. I don't think so, to be honest, but this is an expensive undertaking and the country must think about becoming independent from foreign aid. Wow, about time, no? I don't... Then it will be possible to wage war for a long time. Will it work? The war did many impossible things. For example, we managed to properly tax casinos and the revenues from their activities to the Ukrainian budget increased 232 times. So the war is going on. Average citizen is killed on the battlefield. And then probably in those casinos, who is playing in those casinos? I'm just wondering. What do you think, guys? Politicians, etc., right? Who is playing there? Oligarchs, politicians. And they make... and they actually didn't... And then the same money that they actually make, they spent in casinos. Because the Ukrainian budget increased 232 times. So it's like money laundering in your own casinos. This is just my comment and I'm not an expert. The links to both articles, as always, you find down below in the description box. So if you're interested in reading this, go and check yourself. And now I have a very, well, nothing really surprising to me, but very confirming what we were all expecting, most of us in Poland, article about a Polish-Ukrainian conflict instead of the Wołyń massacre. So what is this? Well, the proposal for changes in the curriculum in education in Poland, yes, published on the website of the Ministry of Education and Science, yes, of Poland, raises more and more serious concerns. So here we have the lady, I'm not sure who she is since I don't know all those politicians, Minister of Education, all right, here she is, Barbara Nowacka. She took the floor and she is the Minister of Education and she said, I won't sign it. So here is the quote from her from social media. The essence of pre-consultations is that experts propose something and everyone can evaluate the proposals and express their substantive opinion, which I encourage you to do. I, on the other hand, will not sign a document in which, this is the key point, the Wołyń massacre will not be called by its name, genocide. Barbara Nowacka wrote on social media, so the Polish Minister of Education wrote this. The Ministry of National Education of Poland has started pre-consultations before changing the core curriculum in schools. A huge controversy was caused by one of those proposals concerning the teaching of history. Well, in the chapter entitled Poland under German and Soviet occupation, when explaining the causes of the Polish-Ukrainian conflict in Wołyń and eastern Małopolska, the statement including the genocide of Polish population in Wołyń and eastern Małopolska would disappear. Instead of the Wołyń massacre, Polish children are to learn about the Polish-Ukrainian conflict. Those of you I will continue with this article. Those of you who've seen the documentaries, or at least the images of what took place in Wołyń, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you who haven't, I will give you a warning. It's not easy to look at it when you have heart, soul, and feelings. But at least try to see what was Wołyń. Well, let's continue with this article. If we do not respect our history, I don't know who will respect it. The proposal to remove from the history curriculum the phrase including the genocide of the Polish population in the context of Wołyń crime is not, in my opinion, a good direction. I hope that this is why consultations are being organized to simply correct this issue, said the administrator of the historia.org.pl account. Wołyń slaughter. Let us recall that the crime in Wołyń was a genocide carried out by the Ukrainian nationalists OUN, UPA, with the participation of the local Ukrainian population against Poles. It covered not only Wołyń but also the Lviv, Tarnopol and Stanisławów voivodeship and eastern Galicia and even some of the voivodeships bordering Wołyń, the Lublin region and Polesie. Yes, everyone, and I think that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna actually remove this from the books and they will call it a conflict. And I think they might do exactly the same thing with Palestinians. That is, I don't know if genocide has levels of cruelty, but probably if they will be still the winners, which I hope they won't, as winners write the history, they're gonna call it Palestinian conflict, Israeli conflict, not genocide. But guys, that's all I have for you as far as the news. Now just 3 comments from yesterday, and then you might continue with this video to see more of Moscow. The first comment is from a very, very challenging name, but Rexo Nibi-Kokobuasa. I'm so sorry, but your name is like another level. You say, blaming Russia is sport in the UK. Well, what can I say? Not just in the UK. Second comment is from Ian_VJ5PV. And this is from my last video from yesterday. And you say, an Ukrainian economist is an oxymoron. He might be a smuggler. This was in regards to those words, offensive words that economist, or if you would say smuggler, said about Polish farmers yesterday. And the last comment I have is in Russian. I'm not sure if you're Russian because your name is Paul, or maybe you just chosen this name. Paul of Z 901. Maybe you are Paweł, this Polish name for Paul. And I will try to read it in Russian first. So those of you who are Russian viewers, and I completely jinxed it, apologies. But I will translate this into English. I just want to give respect and gratitude for your comment. So here is the comment. Всегда рады людям, которые обладают здравомыслием и дружбием. Добро поздравать снова, Anya. I'm sorry if I mispronounced, I'm sure I did. And what you said is people who have common sense and friendship are always welcome. Welcome back, Anya. Thank you so much. I am very, very glad, very happy to be here. Let's continue with my work, with my videos, and with my news that I bring to you. Keep on watching if you want to see more of Moscow. I'm not sure what I will do today, except the hair appointment. But I have a museum that I might be able to go and see. So stay tuned, keep on watching. If you appreciate the content, hit that like, subscribe, leave the comments as I read them all that I will bring to you tomorrow. And if you want to see more of Russia, follow me on Instagram, join my mailing list just in case, join my community on Locals as well. If you want to become a supporter, you can buy me a coffee. Thank you so much. Очень спасибо. I really appreciate. Or you can become supporter on Locals as well. And what else? I have PayPal and Rumble. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Bye, everyone.